Hey, and welcome to another episode of Stamp Nomad News. I am Brandon. I'll be your host today. Today we have 5 stories that could hit your wallet, your passport, flight plan, and that includes everything from a 4-day meltdown at Europe's biggest hub to $730 trash fine catching locals and foreigners off guard. And then we dive into a new 5-year visa that most nomads haven't even heard of yet and may not qualify for, but you should still stick in just to see if you do. So let's get into it. For our first story, we're going to start off at Germany, where airliner Lufthansa pilots have a 4-day strike. What that means is if you're going through Frankfurt or Munich this week, you're probably not flying. This includes a 48-hour pilot strike from April 13th to 14th, so should be winding down here soon. There'll be a cabin crew follow-up April 15 to 16, so that amounts to 4 days straight, which is 80 to 90% of departures canceled from Frankfurt, at Frankfurt and Munich. And that's 100,000 plus passengers hit. So I know that someone who identifies as a digital nomad is getting hit by that. So apologies there. Before we even get to the workarounds, you might be wondering, why are they striking? And it's really about the same reasons why there are a lot of strikes going on around the world. That includes pensions, pay disputes, and there haven't really been a lot of progress in the talk. A few workarounds, if you're kind of caught into that mess and that blend and you're flying in, out, or through Germany, you can rebook onto Swiss or Austria without a fee, or switch to Deutsche Bahnrail and a few of the Middle East routes that are still running. As far as any compensation, if your flight gets canceled, you can file via AirHelp and you'll get compensation of up to 600 pounds back. Don't assume that April 17th everything is going to clear up. Delays can bleed on for day after day after day, especially with unions threatening even more action. So just be alert, nomads. And next up, we have Australia, which it looks like they're taking a page out of the old Trump playbook and are considering requiring all visa applicants to show their social media posts, X, Meta, LinkedIn, whatever may have. The Coalition, which is a political party in Australia, is recommending something called Australian Values Migration Plan. What this would do is make social media disclosure mandatory for everyone and anyone applying for any type of visa coming into Australia. It's not a law, it's only a policy at the moment that could potentially be entered into law, and that all depends on what's going on as far as the Australian elections are concerned. Nonetheless, as nomads, we're kind of fragile individuals and we have fragile lifestyles, so it kind of sucks when any country arbitrarily places rules on to rather free individuals that are the rules themselves, which are sometimes hard to understand. I'll say that just to be politically correct. Our next story out of South Korea. You won't believe this. Did you know that you can be fined $730 in Seoul for throwing out trash the wrong way? And foreigners are getting hit. My gosh. So it looks like fines start at 50,000 won and they go up to 1 million won. That is between $40 and $730, and that comes in under the Waste Management Act. So you want to buy district-specific government bags from CU, GS25, 7-Eleven, etc., etc. Trash out before 8 p.m. illegal. That's However, it's not crazy. South Korea, I love you and I understand. You want to keep your streets clean and you want to keep everything in order. And as a nomad, all we can do is respect that and enjoy your culture. So we appreciate your cleanliness, and nomads, just know, throw out your trash the wrong way or the wrong time, you could face a fine. Our next story, Vietnam. I lived in Vietnam a few years and it really has a place in my heart. So it's always good to see their progress as well as them opening up the country to more individuals. So it looks like they are rolling out a new 5-year visa for tech talent specifically. It's called the UD1 visa. It's extendable up to 10 years, which is kind of unheard of. Now they're launching it on July 1st, 2026, so that's in a couple of months. It's important to note that this is not an open door policy. You'd have to be nominated by a company, agency / employer. But here's the thing, suppose you find a job, contract, etc. in Vietnam and they invite you or they nominate you. The processing time is 3 working days. 3! That's crazy. In Southeast Asia, that's like unheard of. It's not officially published yet. However, it's expected to come out pretty soon. As far as pricing or fees are concerned, I'd say you could probably expect around $150 USD. That's just kind of in alignment with similar visas that are already offered in Vietnam. However, we'll have to wait and see. And our last story, there are some hidden gems out there that I think everyone should at least consider, because you never really know, it might work out well for you. So this week we're going to talk about Mauritius. Now they offer a free premium visa with the $1,500 a month floor for digital nomads. Now, it's one of the cleanest remote work visa that really no one talks about. You don't have to pay a cent for the application fee. Now, if you compare that to, say, I don't know, Thailand, where I think the application fee is roughly 400 some odd bucks, this is a steal. Also, the income requirements, if you're a budget nomad, a budget traveler, this one only requires $1,500 a month. It's 1 year, renewable indefinitely, no cap. And it's one of the fastest visas. Like, speaking of speed, they'll actually issue this visa within 48 hours to 5 days. It's fully online through the e-visa portal. And eligibility is for up to 110, well, actually 110 plus countries. If you're considering moving outside of your home country and you haven't been to Mauritius, you're kind of curious about what it would be like. It seemed like a nice little introduction into Africa with a little bit, but however, be warned, that's a venture on up here if you're not ready for it. So those were our 5 news updates for today. I really appreciate you tuning in. I love you. Keep traveling, keep exploring, keep learning inside, outside, all sides. Have a great day. Please subscribe. Check out the website, stampnomad.com. Incredibly fast, fresh, and accurate news for all types of nomads, no matter what stage of nomadism you're in. Thanks so much. See you next time.